Okay, so I just want to go over the tasks for week 7 because we're doing this a little bit differently than previous weeks. So, as always, your first stop for the week is to go to the week overview page. So if you go to the week 7 overview page, we can see we're covering the merchandising operations chapter in the textbook, and we're also doing our financial analysis project. And so when you look at the week 7 tasks, here we are, we're reading the chapter 5. There's lecture notes, there's study tools on my accounting lab, there's videos that I have recorded, and then there's also videos about the financial analysis ratios. Now, you've already computed two of the ratios for this project, right? We've already done the debt ratio and the return on assets ratios. And so you can actually just copy and paste the work that you've done into the file where you're going to do the complete financial analysis for Hilton and Hyatt hotels. So what you need to complete then for the week is the week 7 My Accounting Lab, and then there's a financial analysis project. So for this week, we are not going to have a discussion because I want you to be able to focus on the financial analysis project. We are not going to do vocab. So the My Accounting Lab is a little bit shorter than normal. When you're going through chapter 5, you don't have to spend time on the discounts as well as the sales returns and allowances. The discounts are less prevalent in industry as they used to be. And so just kind of looking at the importance and the other things that we need to cover are more important than that, since a lot of companies don't offer discounts anymore. The sales returns and allowances, we're not going to spend time on because they got a bit complicated with some of the revenue recognition rules. People who are going on in accounting will encounter that in a later accounting course. So keep that in mind, and then you will do the Chapter 7 My Accounting Lab, and then the financial analysis project. So you can click to get to the financial analysis project, and I'm in the wrong spot. Hold on. Okay, I wasn't in the student view. I am now. So you can click here to access the assignment. And so when we get in, and I did it again, sorry. Hopefully third time's a charm here. We'll click on the assignment. Here we go. Here's our financial analysis assignment. So this assignment is worth 260 homework points. And so you want to do a good job on this, right? If you've, got some lower scores, getting a high score on this one is going to bring up your assignment portion of the grade. And so here's the Hyatt financial statements. That's the Form 10K they file with the SEC. Go to page 108 for the start of the financial statements. Click here to get the Hilton Form 10K. Go to page 66. That's where the financial statements start. And so you're going to calculate 9 ratios for the most recent year, which is 2018 for each company. You have the balance sheet from 2 years ago because you're going to have to compute average total assets and average stockholders' equity. And actually, you have already done 2 of the 9 ratios. So I kind of got you started on that so people knew what to expect, so this project wasn't so overwhelming. So there's 9 ratios. You have already done the debt ratio as well as the return on assets. So I just want you to put them into the file, right? So if you had a mistake or whatever, I have corrected those ratios when you had those assignments and gave you some comments if you didn't interpret them correctly, because interpreting these ratios is just as important as calculating the ratios. So here's the 9 ratios. I gave you some things to think about, just kind of some tips that you should look at when you get to some of the different ratios. If you're not sure what to do, come and see if I've given you some guidance in the notes. If there's not in there, then shoot me an email, but try to look for the answer. It doesn't work out too well if people don't feel like reading and think, oh, I'll just shoot the professor an email and ask her to explain it to me. I have put information in here. You use this first, and if there's still questions, then I'm happy to answer. So kind of check that out. So you're going to do those calculations, and then you're going to interpret, and these are important, right? This is worth 260 points. Half of the points you'll come from the calculations. The other half come from your answers here. And so I ask, for example, what is your opinion of each company's ability to pay current liabilities? Support your answer with an interpretation of your calculations. Your answer should demonstrate your understanding of the purpose of each ratio. So here are the ratios that are going to tell you about the company's ability to pay current liabilities. Don't just tell me, well, Hilton had a working capital of this, Hyatt had one of this. Hilton's is higher. I can see your ratios. I know which one is higher. I want you to tell me, what does it mean? Okay, so you need to know what each of these mean. And I have included here, most of these are in the textbook, right? So the debt ratio was in Chapter 2. That's why we've covered that already. Return on assets was Chapter 1. Working capital and profit margin percentage are not in the textbook, but I've given you a link to an explanation, so you can read those. You can also watch videos about each of the ratios, and in these videos, they not only tell you what the calculation is, what the formula is, they also explain what it means. So this will help you when you answer the questions. Now, you already know what the debt ratio means. You already know what the return on assets mean, right? So the debt ratio, you'll use that information for answering question B. You'll use the return on assets when you answer question C, right? But that's not the only thing. You also have the times interest earned. That'll factor into your answer to B. You will also have the other profitability, the profit margin percentage, and the return on equity calculations that you should include when you're giving your opinion of each company's profitability. The last question, what is your opinion of the overall financial health of the company? What company stock would you prefer to buy? Support your answer with details from your responses, right? So, you say it's Hilton because they had they were better able to cover their current liabilities. They had a stronger ability to cover long-term debt, better profitability ratios, whatever it is, right? You need to explain why, okay? You're going to name your file with your name, financial analysis assignment. You're going to submit it on D2L. Okay, and so then if we scroll down, you can see the rubric that's going to be used to evaluate the project, right? So the formulas, right? Basically, if you complete them with complete accuracy, you'll get full points. If you have mistakes, so you probably don't want to just put the answer, because if the answer is wrong, you say the current ratio is 1.2. and it's not 1.2, if it's 1.89, well, then it's going to be marked wrong and you will get no points because it's completely incorrect. If you show me the formula and I see maybe you pulled the wrong current liability number, right, then that's only going to be one error. So you're going to then get most of the points, right? You'll be rated as very good. You'll get 12 out of 15 points, right? So it's better to show the detail. And then you can see with the questions, you need to support with interpretations of the category. So here you need to interpret working capital, current ratio, quick ratio. As I said, just don't tell me what the results were. My working capital was this, my current ratio is this, my quick ratio is this. I can already see that. I want you to tell me, what does that mean about the companies? Okay? And again, you can get that by reading about the ratios and as well as watching the videos. Right? And you already know what two of them mean. So you're only having to research 7 this week. And remember, we don't have a discussion. You don't have a vocab assignment because I know this is going to take some time. Okay? So go through that, and you're striving to get the highest points. So make sure you provide enough detail in your answers that I can give you the highest rating on the rubric. Okay? So I hope that explains what we're doing this week with this financial analysis ratio. It's better to start it earlier in the week. So if you run into trouble, I can help you with that. You for sure want to get go through Chapter 5 and learn the multiple step income statement, because you will be using that income statement. The companies are in the multiple step income statement format. So you'll have a better time navigating the income statement if you've learned about it before you go to do the financial analysis. So get on this early in the week as possible so that there's time for me to answer questions. Waiting until Sunday and then not knowing what to do you don't have time to get my help. And I, do really want to help you. This is really important because this is kind of what we're wanting you to be able to do in this course, is to have familiarity with financial statements so that you can take this with you in your career, whatever company you're working for. You want to be able to analyze their financial statements. So let me know when you need help. Thanks.